Ha-
Hello?
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 Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Curiosity
Hello,
Cove. My name is
hello.
Veda.
And this is your Capty? Interesting. Trusty Capm speaking. I messed that up for the first time in a hot
First
second.
time.
But today we'll be talking about
Taurus!
Taurus.
Tauruses. Oh
I'm
my god.
excited.
I actually think that's the first time our intro's been awkward. Like maybe since the first
Yeah.
episode.
I flipped my words, man. Wait, what was that word from last podcast?
Oh, spoonerism?
I did that. That was just me explaining to you guys, referencing.
Yeah,
Anybody
it
else know
was
the word?
callback. It was callback.
It was a callback. Just like scrumping. It'll always
Yes.
be a callback.
Dude, you're gonna say I know you're gonna fit scrumping into every single podcast we ever do.
It's my favorite,
Oh
man. It's
god.
probably my
I'm
favorite
thinking
word we
about
could
going
do.
scrumping, actually.
Oh?
Yeah.
I want to scrump some apples, I swear to God.
There's an apple tree that like a neighbor of, well, not really a neighbor, but like someone in my neighborhood has growing. And it's coming in a bloom, and I'm thinking about scrumping an apple or two.
Without them knowing, like, that you're coming over
Yeah,
to scrump?
otherwise it's not scrumping, it's just apple picking.
True.
Yeah.
And you're not doing that, you're scrumping.
Correct, yeah.
Your day, my lady.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was your day?
Let me see. I did a lot of productive stuff. I had a little appointment this morning, just a little like checkup to see how Cap's doing, and I'm doing great. And then I was like, I want to do some stuff on the drive because it was a really nice morning. It was like not too hot but not too cold, so I put the windows down,
Oh.
blasted some music.
Oh.
I was out of gas, so I had to stop at the gas station.
I'm going through a roller coaster right now.
True. I did a little grocery shopping.
Okay.
I cleaned my car. Because he was a little dirty.
Oh.
And then I bought myself some brekkie at like a local breakfast place by me. So that was awesome. I got myself some eggs, hash browns, and pancakes, chocolate chip pancakes. And then I did some cleaning around the house and I streamed Dino Game for a little bit.
Wait, I love that for you.
Yeah, it was
What
like
a
a nice,
day.
cute, chill, like do what I want kind of day.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I forget that we're not doing the podcast on like a day that you work. So like,
that's true. This is like a different get to know Cap.
Yeah. It's like interesting to see like a peek into what a day off looks like for you.
True.
I love that.
They're normally super chill like that. Like I try to get all my shit done in the morning, and I'm talking like not like 8 a.m. morning because I don't wake up like that. But like anywhere from like 10 to like 1 is like where I do like my morning grind.
Sweet spot, yeah.
Sometimes I work out, but like this morning I had so much other stuff to do. I was like, I'll work out tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I got a desk that does the thing where it can be standing or sitting, you know?
That's hot.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because I think I'm gonna get a walk pad for underneath it.
Oh.
Right. And so I am really excited because then I can be walking and like watching like I'm really hoping that how it will go is that in the mornings I can like, if people are around in Discord and we're hanging out, I can walk while I watch people play things or like while we chat or whatever. I just don't want to be in the mouth like, yeah. And then I think like I don't want to.
That's fair.
So I would love to be able to like tune out and just like walk to like somebody playing a game or whatever, and then maybe like, you know, maybe
or like a stream or something.
Yeah. And just do like a nice like little brisk walk here and there. But also I think it'll help train me because like I'm really committed to this biking thing, right? Like I really am. And so what I've been doing lately is like when I'm waiting on somebody, so like if we're playing CS and somebody's like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, blah blah blah, I have enough space in my office to where I've been like kicking back my chair and I'll do like squats or I'll do sit-ups to like train my core and my legs so that biking isn't as exhausting or whatever. And like, I mean, my thighs always kill, but like one day I'm gonna be able to bike really, really well, and it's gonna be so worth it. But yeah, so my desk came in. My parents are in, so I've just been hanging out with Cash Money Boy, and my mom and I are trying to get Lucifer going. I found out that my parents are watching through Grey's Anatomy, like for the first time, like all of it.
Pick me, choose me. Love me. That's my only phrase I know from it.
I don't know anything.
I haven't seen a lick of it.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. But they're like, they started from the beginning and they're on like season 8 now.
Oh, dedicated.
Yeah. So I can't imagine. But in the flip side, me and my mom are trying to go through Lucifer. If you ever watched it,
I heard it's really good. Mm-hmm.
It is actually very entertaining.
Yeah,
like it has a very CW vibe, but like it is.
I like those though.
Yeah, me too, kinda.
Yeah,
I loved Gossip Girl. That was my shit.
I think a lot of like DC shows are from CW.
Yeah, like Arrow,
the only one that I literally want to crash and burn, I'm pretty sure is a CW, is Riverdale.
Yes, yeah, that is CW, and I agree with you.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
How far though?
When they started getting into the musicals, I kind of fell out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got to the D&D,
for sure.
Griffins and Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell off after that because they were talking about some drug called Jingle Jangle, and I said, I gotta go.
The Jingle Jangle.
No, and then you know what got me? It was fucking the redhead AJ.
Yeah, Archie.
Him going, yeah, you know, the hard life of being a high schooler,
dude,
is football. And I was like, I gotta go.
That was when they started getting really into like the theatrical themed episodes and like the musicals and like it started getting so theater play like that I kind of like I was so disconnected.
Yeah,
but
it didn't feel like an actual show.
Yeah, it started to feel very like Outsiders and Grease like. And I was like, I mean, this is chill and all, like great references or like, you know, great inspiration that you're drawing from, but like this ain't it. Like this ain't the show.
Mm-hmm.
Take me back to when Betty was like self-harming by digging her nails into her hands because she's got a secret life where her sister's in a cult or something, and like that was like all
the
chill.
Babies are gonna get sacrificed.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
That shit was chill. I liked it when it was like that. But
I like the first season.
The first season. Banger.
I agree. And then I don't know what happened.
I think Jughead is the one redeeming character. Like maybe by the 4th season, he's like the one redeeming. Oh, what's her face too? Shit, the redhead girl.
She's cool. I couldn't tell you her name, but she's cool. I love
her.
Mm-hmm. Her and her like girlfriend on the show are really cool.
Yeah, I love them.
Just because she stops being annoying.
Yeah.
With her family, because then she was like, oh, my dad this, my mom this, my parents did this, and my brother, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
will say,
no one cares.
Have you seen their TikTok channel? The 3 girls?
Them two?
The blonde brunette and the redhead on TikTok?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, they're like all best friends now. Like the ones who play the redhead girl, Betty and Veronica. Yeah, they're like besties.
That's cute,
and
though.
They have a TikTok channel together, and they're so funny. And I love their TikTok channel.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go look at it after the podcast.
Yeah. I'll if I think I follow them. If I can find one of their videos, I'll send it to you.
Thank you so much.
I love them. Okay, but anyways, moving on to the stars.
Of course, sorry.
A little sidetracked.
Shows and movies will always get us sidetracked.
Yeah, literally.
But we're back. We're locking in. Do you know any Tauruses, by the way?
I do. One of my really close friends, Kiki, he's a Taurus. And then, of course, you know.
Of course, the lovely Tankussy. Of course.
Tankussy.
That's his nickname.
No, I hate it.
Stop.
Do you have any cap words?
Let's see. I don't believe I had any recently.
No.
I've been rewatching a lot of movies that like I know, so I haven't been finding any words that I'm like, ugh, that shouldn't be in there. So I don't think I have a cap word today. So that's good.
Well, I think it's funny because like remind me what your I just heard it too. What was your cap word the other day?
Ephemeral.
Meaning, yeah. I was watching. Have you ever seen the movie The Menu?
I have. I love.
They use ephemeral in that movie, and I was like, I like chuckled to myself. It's not a chuckle scene, but I chuckled to myself watching it.
Wait, what do you mean it's not a chuckle
They were like,
scene?
and you know, blah blah blah. This is the food, and they're like, what's in it? And they're like, we prefer not to say because we like to have the foods have their ephemeral ingredients. And I was like,
Cap hates that word.
And everyone I was watching it with was like, what? And I was like, nah, it's just the word.
Yeah. I still love that movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, please go watch The Menu. It is so good, and the cast is stacked.
I love Anya Taylor-Joy. So
she's gorgeous. I love. I think the actors do such a great job.
Yeah, I would agree.
The
plot's like just enough of a banger for me too.
It's weird. Yeah. If you were watching it for it to be like a chef or like cooking movie and you're like, yeah, let's watch some dude cook stuff. No, you will not be watching that. You kind of are, but it's like a weird fucked up.
It's a social commentary.
Yeah.
On like the like the life of the luxurious and how like the I guess like luxury cooking or like Michelin star dining and stuff, a lot of it is like theatrics and all for show and not too much. It's not about the quality of the food anymore. It's about the presentation.
But it's fucked up on like some other stuff too. Like they talk about other topics which each food they bring out, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's
actors and actresses are so good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I do have a word with Vadu today.
Ooh.
It is gasconade.
Gasconade.
Gasconade or gasconading.
The only thing I'm thinking is like gas someone up.
Right. So you're pretty on the money. It means to extravagantly boast. So like when I put this in here because I almost feel like gassing someone up might have come from this or something.
Yeah.
Or like it would make sense if it did, I guess is the way I should say it. Because when I was reading about it, essentially the word is used like usually it's used like if somebody is gasconading about their, you know, exploits or their adventures across the seas or, you know, whatever. They would be like boasting, bragging, but like on a grand scale. And so that's what it makes me think of, like when like I gasconade about you because I love you, you know?
What the fuck? You want to quit it? Making me nervous.
But yeah, gasconading. So if you want to say like, oh, I don't want to boast about it, you can use that instead. You can say I don't want to gasconade, but
ooh,
yeah, that's so fancy. It makes me feel so smart.
Use the term gassing someone up, or like you're gassing me up right now.
Yeah.
Like not just like in my lingo personally.
Yeah, I don't really use it either. I don't tend, but then again, I oftentimes I feel like I do the gassing up, I guess, rather than like receive I don't know. Yeah, I just like I don't like I don't think I even say to people like, you guys stop gassing me up or whatever. Like I can't. No. It's just not in my vocabulary.
Yeah. Well, now gasconade can be, so.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Let's gasconade about our bulls, huh?
Bulls! I'm excited!
But okay, so I'll jump right into it. Taurus are their modality is fixed, right? So Taurus are our dates between, I believe it's April 21st and May 20th. And they are an earth element. Their modality is fixed. These fixed signs usually are the ones who are able to like hold steady in their goals. They're kind of stubborn and hard to change their minds or their perspectives on anything. It is possible. It's just difficult. But they're technically like the most respected sign in terms of like their ability to hold on to their values, beliefs, and their sense of purpose. They are ruled by Venus. They are represented by the bull, and their tarot card is the Hierophant.
I love that word.
Me too. It's such a pleasant word.
Could not tell you what it defines as, but though many different ways people can say that word. Like I personally, when I read it, I read Hierophant. But like I know you can pronounce it so many different ways, and I think it's so pretty every single time I hear it.
Yeah, I think technically the way that it's actually pronounced is Hierophant, but I
don't pronounce the H.
Yeah, like Hierophant, yeah. But I don't think I've ever had anybody I say it so many different ways, and I've never been corrected.
It just sounds so pretty every time.
And an Hierophant is usually somebody, most of the time it's like a priest in ancient Greece, and they essentially interpret like sacred documents or esoteric principles. And so yeah, they are usually like they symbolize like sacredness and righteousness, and like they're usually like a very high spiritual person in
I like that. That's
mythology or history. I'm not sure if they're technically real, but I don't know
I've
too
always
much about
heard of
them.
them as like a not a real being, but someone you would look to for that like
Yeah, like it's not an
sign
official
from God, like a
title.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And similarly, when you're looking at the Hierophant as a card, upright, it does mean spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, tradition, institutionalization, uh, anything like that. Reversed, it usually means like personal beliefs, freedom, challenging tradition, or challenging the status quo in a way. So I feel like a lot of Tauruses kind of do fall into one of these two categories, not so much on the spiritual or religious side, but Tauruses are very often stubborn about either sticking to their guns with conforming with the ideas and traditions and values and beliefs that they've been taught, or they're very stubborn in the sense of needing to break free from those things that they were brought up on. So it's a very fitting card, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Jumping right into their traits. I know I say this every time, and you guys are probably sick of it if you're here every astrology session, but just as always, we have those three major things that we look at: the sun, the moon, the rising. That sun is going to represent your overall self or your ego. That moon is going to represent the emotional and internal side of yourself. And that rising sign is going to represent how you portray yourself to others in terms of personality, kind of like the mask that you put on before people can actually see that sun and moon come out. I feel like I've got that down. So it's like one breath now.
You're just a pro at astrology corner, bro.
It's just so rehearsed now. But Taurus suns. So as always, I have 6 traits here, and I have the positive and negative look at them. So I'm going to go through them. And then, of course, like I always say, none of this is meant to be seen in a negative way. It's just that there's always 2 sides to every coin. So this is how people might interpret these traits from positive and negative light. The first one is something that I think is so true. It's aesthetic, which some people may see as Taurus being kind of fussy. Usually I put these words, like I take this all from a website that when I'm doing my research, and a lot of the time they have like, this is the trait and it reads as this. I usually change those based off of what I think is more fitting, but I think this one is so accurate that I just took it. But Tauruses they just like everything to be pleasing to the senses. They're big sensuous people, right? Like the use of their senses is like how they get enjoyment. So whether it be things that they find like, aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, a nice smell, a good taste in their food, like these are the important things to them when it comes to like material objects. So they want their homes to feel like home to everybody else, and because of that, they take every detail into account. This translates into their life as well. They take every detail into account almost all the time. Like they're constantly playing chess. And all of this means that they are incredibly difficult to shop for. But they are also incredibly loyal to the people around them, so they will ultimately find a place for anything you get them because they're appreciative of it. It's just that like if you were to take a look at something and say, I think this would go like really nice in your living room, whatever, they'd be like, yeah, but I don't know where I put it because on this shelf I have this, and on this one I have this, and I like everything where it's at. Like, like they're usually very much that kind of like
that guy.
Yeah. Everything is just aesthetic. And so like they have great creative sense. Like they have a great vision when it comes to like how things should be placed, or like if you fuck with feng shui at all, like they would have like great sense of feng shui and everything.
Yeah.
But just because of that, it's so hard to like try to get something for them to display because they have everything right where it's supposed to be. But the thing I've learned about Taurus is if they do have this trait, if this is something that they have, they will oftentimes, if you get something, they're so sentimental because tangible objects mean so much to them typically, that they'll create a whole new area for it. And I think it's so cute. I've seen it in multiple Tauruses that I know, and I think it's an adorable little trait.
Oh, I love that. I feel like they're very if you were to get them little things like that, I feel like they'd be like knick-knack people. Not specifically like a bunch of random little things around the house, but like if you were to get them something, like they'd have like not a shrine, but like a little like the special place you said.
I could totally
but they would just like hoard stuff like that because it'd be totally sentimental.
Tauruses being the type to have that like that little shelf that displays random shit, like the junk shelf almost. You know, like the junk drawer equivalent, where they put like everything that somebody has got, and they're like the types of people who are so like they have great memories. So they would be like they'd have 40 things on the shelf, but they could tell you what each one is from, why it was given to them, and like any story behind it. So like if you got them something that was like, I got you this snow globe on my skiing trip because it has this little snowman in it, and the snowman wears a scarf like the scarf that you wear, and I think it's like super cute, and it reminded me of you. So 20 years from now, when somebody's like, oh, cute snow globe, they're gonna be like, yeah, you see the scarf on the snowman in there? Like they'll always be like that, you know?
Yeah, they'll have the whole story for you on lock. Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah. The next trait that I have is patient, and I know you and I know that this one is for sure true.
True.
But
very much
counterpart to this is stuck. So Tauruses are, you know, sometimes they're late to things. Oftentimes they might move at a slower pace than others. So if you're trying to hurry out the door to go to an event or something and you've got a Taurus with you, chances are you're not leaving on time. You're not arriving on time. And truth be told, if the place has a shutdown time, you're probably leaving after it. But this is basically just due to their insane ability to consider like every move that everybody makes. They are, like I said earlier, constantly like playing chess in their minds. And on the outside, it might just look like they're sitting and staring out into space and they're just like late for everything. But internally, they're like planning how the night's gonna go. They're like, like they're, and not the same way that like me or you would, where we're overthinking and thinking of every single situation. They're like, I know these people that I'm about to go see. I know how they are. Here's how the night's gonna go. This is when we leave. Like they just like that shit's just on lock before they even walk out the door.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's
I'd be overthinking. Would be leaving like 20 minutes early, like all this stuff.
I would be like, oh my god, well, Johnny and Becky are gonna be there, and they recently broke up, but they're kind of like trying to stay friends, and everybody is gonna be so awkward, and I don't want to be there for long, so maybe like an hour. A Taurus is over here like, yeah, Johnny and Becky are gonna fight, and that's gonna be like 25 minutes into the night, so we'll leave like 30 minutes into the night, and we'll slip out while they're fighting. Like that's like like the difference, you know?
Yeah. What the? They already have it planned.
No, they do. I feel like a really good like motto, I think, for the mental mindset of like a Taurus in social situations is always have an exit plan. Like I feel like if anybody's gonna have the exit plan of like if things go south, if things get awkward, if a fight breaks out, like they're gonna be the ones who know how to handle it or like how to get out before it gets way too crazy. So I would be following the Taurus for sure. Let's see. Next one is sentimental, which can also be seen as materialistic. So this kind of plays back to like the memento thing that I was saying. Tauruses are by nature very rooted in the sensation department or the material world more often than not. They don't typically escape into like their imagination or to fantasy scenarios or anything like that like others might, which means that they love these tangible things. So they love luxury items or good tasting food or good feeling spa treatments or you know, anything that can like kind of show themselves self-compassion, which is why
Mm-hmm.
they might be seen a little as like materialistic. But the flip side of that, it comes in the form of like tangible objects are here in reality that I can touch and feel and enjoy in front of me, versus, you know, something digital being something that fades, something that turns off, something that goes away after a while. So
Mm-hmm.
they hold on to that stuff that's like real and in front of them, that they can thoroughly enjoy in the moment, like in
Mm-hmm.
reality. Um, so that being said, Tauruses often love getting little tokens or gifts of appreciation from people, because it's kind of something that they can pick up and hold and kind of know that their loyalty is paid off, because they are extremely loyal. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, I mean, all of them probably have their own reasons, but I think a collective one is just being able to have that physical version of like the memory or the meaningfulness between like a relationship or something. They're probably the ones who keep like a box of notes from high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like an old journal.
Yeah, I could see
Mm-hmm.
Taurus actually rules the voice too. So every astrology sign kind of rules a different part of the body. So like Aries is, I think, the head. And then Taurus is the voice, or
Mm-hmm.
the throat, really.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they're usually very good with words, or they're very good with like speaking or writing or anything that conveys thoughts, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see journaling would probably be a big one. I bet a lot of Tauruses have journals stacked up
Yeah.
from when they were younger.
That's cute. I like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. So kind of related to that one, my next point is that they are loyal, which can sometimes be seen as codependent. Another word here would probably be clingy, but I hate that word. Um,
Yeah, because some people like clingy. Some people don't
I
deem
like
clingy
clingy. I
as
love when
like
people are clingy to me.
all over.
That's like
Yeah.
I love getting like, if somebody won't leave me alone when I hang out with them, I'm all, like I feel like it's cute. Like it's like I know that you love me and I love the clinginess, you know, because like I'm really bad at communication. So if you're pulling communication out of me, that's helping me in the long run. And I like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, sometimes I might be like, shut the fuck up. This is the eighth day that you've messaged me, and I'm not trying to do anything today. But mostly I'm like, it's adorable that you like don't
Yeah.
abandon me just because I suck at texting. You know?
I like it in a way that like I like getting like attention that way, but I still am like that kind of person where like I hope they don't think that because we're just texting and like I don't want to hang out, whether that's in VC or in person, that like I don't want to hang out with them. It's more so like this is enough for me
Mm,
right now. Like I'm still a very much like an independent person,
right.
but like text me all day, bitch. Like
Literally.
like
I
let me
love
know, bother me, just do
clingy people
whatever.
are underrated, bro.
True. And plus if someone really doesn't like that, like they'll tell you.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
hey, like it's bothering me. Or
Yeah.
like, can we just leave me alone for like an hour or so? Like I'm gonna go do
Hmm.
some stuff. Or like, hey, I'm not really feeling like talking right now. Like they'll communicate
Yeah.
that back to you. But until then, keep being your clingy self. I
Yeah,
love it.
literally. And I mean like I'm clingy to an extent. Like
Mm-hmm.
the people that I care about, I like I hold back a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I constantly like I always want to be like talking to the people that I like, you know? That's like I'm in
Yeah.
Discord like 100% of the time, because I just like being around the people that I love. And so
Yeah.
to think about like I'm about to go on vacation, and to think about not having Discord to hang out with all my friends, it kind of makes me a little sad, but I'll be with family, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fine. Um, but yeah, when it comes to like, you know, quote unquote clinginess or loyalty, codependence, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
um, Tauruses are a really great example of loyalty, because they are always like that shoulder to cry on. They're very much like a therapist kind of friend more often
Mm-hmm.
than not. And they're definitely always in your corner. They can be a little over involved, or they can like be a little overbearing, but it's
Mm-hmm.
always coming from a place of like love and support and wanting what's best for you. It's never like a I know what's best for you. It's just they always want to be able to be there to like steer you in the right direction. And if you give them time, they're always going to be able to learn how to balance that. But when they're kind of like testing their limits in a friendship or something, it's because a lot of the time they take on this kind of like nurturing role with their loyalty. Like they can be self-sacrificing to an extent, and it's just because they're so loyal. Like, this is the most loyal sign. And so it's always something that it's hard to balance, but Tauruses find it pretty quickly. So usually by the time that they're like in young adulthood, they've kind of learned when not to overstep those boundaries. I'm sure it shines through every once in a while, just like Aries' fucking arrogance shines through every once in a while.
I feel like Tauruses are very good at like reading the room and like knowing where to like
it's
flow with the other person's like emotions, or like how to like flow in conversation.
It's partially due to their earth sign, because like, or them being an earth sign, because they're very like grounded, and they're very down to earth people. And then it has another thing to be said with their like 3D chess that's constantly going on in their heads, because they're very analytical in the sense that like they almost view social situations as a chessboard. So they kind of have their steps planned out ahead. Like, if this person doesn't walk over to me, then I'm gonna go walk over to, you know, this side of the room. If this person does walk over to me, here's the thing I'm gonna bring up for conversation. If this person leaves the party, here's what I'm going to text them to make sure that they know that I saw that they were there and that I wanted to say hi because they're my friend. You know, like, they're very much constantly doing that kind of thing. So I feel like they almost overread the room sometimes.
Fair.
Yeah. But no, they definitely are. I think they're very good at navigating social situations, just because they are able to kind of like observe and analyze what everyone's doing. And they are very like calculating in the sense of like how they kind of have this, I feel like, hierarchy of how they're going to interact and with who. So it's like, if you were to place a Taurus in a room with like 5 of their friends, they're going to decide in which order they talk to those friends and what they talk about before they even do it. Now, here's the thing though, Taurus are also kind of adaptable. So if they get off track from that, they'll roll with the punches, but they'll come back to their original plan. Yeah. They're very,
I could see that.
Yeah, I feel like they're very set in their own ways. I think it comes from the stubbornness that they naturally have. But I think that like once they've made the decision on how they're going to handle something, big or small, even if they get on track, they kind of like try to circle back around to that initial plan that they had to follow through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, I have laid back, which can also be seen as checked out. This is a really big one. Tauruses are usually the most laid back people. They just
really?
like, yeah, it can really seem like they just do not give a shit about anything. And like that, obviously that facade fades the second you get to know them. But like on the surface, it just seems like nothing can faze them. Like they're so chill and laid back, and like, I mean, like Tank is a really good example of this. Like at first glance, he's like the most chill motherfucker. And then you get to know him, and he's like wild, you know. But yeah,
the most out of pocket shit.
Literally, hello. But no, yeah, they a lot of people might see that as though they're like mentally checked out, or they're like uninterested in what's happening around them. But in reality, what they're doing is they're just like hanging out and observing, kind of like seeing what everybody's up to. I put in my notes, they're straight chillin', if you will. But a lot of the time they're just thinking to themselves in their quiet solitude. Like they just think a lot, and that happens regardless of if they're alone or around the people that they love most in the world. They just think all the time. And so because of that, it can be kind of hard to pull them out of their solitude, like if they're really deep in thought. One of the best ways to do it though is anything pleasing to the eyes, ears, nose, senses. So if you put really good food in front of them, it's going to snap them out of their thought process. If you if you start like playing some really good music, it's going to snap them out. So a lot of the time I think Tauruses escape through things like that, cooking, writing, singing, listening to music. Like, those are kind of their outlets when maybe the thoughts get too much. It's something I've learned.
That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I put in here, like, in order to break them out of thought, you're gonna need a mighty fine offer.
You're gonna need some mighty fine offer.
And then the last one that I have is down to earth, which can be seen as rude. Tauruses are sometimes seen as like rude off the bat, but it's mostly just because they're not really bullshitters. Like, they kind of don't sugarcoat anything. Like, they're an earth sign, so naturally they're grounded, they're down to earth, as I said, but they're also just, they tend to be very realistic. Like, they know what they know and they're sure of it, and so even in the most stressful situations, they remain grounded and they're going to tell you how it is. They're going to give you complete honesty. They don't really like sugarcoat shit. So some people might see this as rude. I know it's a quality that I actually admire in people, but like, some people are like, well, I want you to be sensitive.
Yeah, but you value honesty, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's the difference.
Yeah. And so to those who value honesty, talking to a Taurus about your problems can honestly be really nice, because it's just like, you're gonna get 100% truth. The truth can be told, or the truth can be said for all earth signs. They are not bullshitters.
No, they'll tell you how it is.
All 3 earth signs can be seen as like major bitches, but it's only because they're so realistic and they're so analytical. Like, Taurus is gonna be no sugarcoating. Here's how it is. They're still gonna be nice about it. Capricorn's gonna be probably an ass about it. Virgo's going to totally be an ass.
Oh, for sure.
Virgo is not gonna sugarcoat shit for you. They might tell you too much of what you need to hear. But
you'd ask a simple question and you'd get the whole book.
Yeah. But out of the 3, I would say Taurus is probably the one who says it the nicest. Like, it's gonna be short, clean. This is what you need to know. This is the truth. That's it. So it's just their realistic perspective and their inability to soften the truth. Like, there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. That's basically how they are.
That's fair.
Those are the sun traits. Yeah, those are the sun traits. So a big theme, as you can see, just a lot of honesty and a lot of like groundedness,
loyalty,
and that translates to the moon and rising as well. Taurus moons are usually super dependable. They have a lot of commitment to provide in personal relationships, and by this I mean, let's be real, guys, a lot of us, we have a lot less commitment than we think we do. And so we get into these, multiple friendships, new groups, we take on a lot, and then it kind of like drains us or whatever. Taurus, nah, dude. They've got so much of that shit, and they know who they should be giving it to, and they do, and so they're just able to be there for all of their friends all of the time. It's crazy impressive to me. But yeah, they're so supportive. Like, Taurus moon specifically are just like some of the most supportive people, and they're there for you in like whatever way you need them to be. So if you need them to just sit in existence with you and just shut the fuck up and just be there, they'll do it. If you need a distraction, they got you. If you want to like hang out and do an activity, get your mind off things, they got you. They're like very comfy and cozy, and that's how they like things around them to be. And they just like, they have no problem expressing themselves, or they're quick to make friends. I mean, they're very for the people, Yeah. Taurus moons are definitely very like, they're universal friends, I think is how I would put it. Yeah, definitely universal friends. So if you have a Taurus moon, good for you. That's a great trait.
Yeah. Taurus, send them over our way.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
Taurus risings are also actually known for their like loving and comforting nature. But they're also a little more well known for like their dedication or their work ethic. they're like the reliable ones, you know? Taurus rising is like if you were to ask them what they appreciate most in a person, it's probably going to be something like, you know, I like reliable people, I like supportive people, I like dedicated people, loyal people, like, and because that's what they value, that tends to be what they are, is they put into the world what they expect to get out of it. So you're always going to see them like in your corner. They're going to be reliable, there for you when you need it, always when you need it. You know, and obviously this has been like a big theme in Taurus overall, is like reliability, but I would say Taurus rising probably has the most reliability within their placements. Like, it's just, they tend to be like that person that you can literally without a doubt always count on. Yeah,
I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, so that is, in a nutshell, that's all of your Taurus traits, and I believe that means it's time to, you know,
get in the love factor.
see what the love has to say.
It makes me laugh that like I get to do the relationship on this one, because I mean I always do, but when you said the planet is Venus, I said, oh, you guys are lovers. What?
Yeah, Taurus has got
Miss Aphrodite who?
Yeah, Taurus has got like a lot of love to give, you know what I mean?
They do. It's cute.
They actually,
so here's a brief little breakdown for it all. I'm excited. So as an earth sign with a fixed modality, as we like talked about earlier, Taurus is known to be headstrong and persevering in all aspects of life, but especially in matters of the heart. Just as their zodiac symbol, the bull, suggests, Taurus like to do things their way. Some folks might not really like deal with that matter-of-factness or occasional stubbornness, but those who do really get to know the like nitty-grittiness of a Taurus. Their nurturing, loyal kind of love that only a Taurus themselves can provide. They said Taurians, and I don't really fuck with that. So
I say
you say Taurians too?
Tauruses, Taurians. There was one point where I said Taurites? Taurais, I think, is one of them. I've said so many different things, but I
like Tauruses. I read Taurians in a couple of these, and I was just like,
Taurians is gross to me. I don't like it.
Yeah. No, thank you. This is actually, I was just talking about Venus, but it says Tauruses are naturally sexy people because they're ruled by Venus, the planet of love and pleasure, no less. They have a strong inner self-belief, which doesn't need shouting about and draws people to them because they can be trusted. Tauruses don't sweat the small stuff, and this means they're really calming to be around. They're also known to have a good time. They're super fun and always up for it. Anytime, any type of company, they're awesome for it. They just want to hang out and like love.
Hell yeah.
It's so cute. But I have some attractive traits that Tauruses have. They love pleasure and indulgence and are more than happy to indulge you as well. So they just love for themselves and
like
love giving love back.
They're sensuous people.
They are, and they'll let you know for sure. They're soothing, stoic, chilled, and happy in their own skins. There is no drama or tension in their default state of mind or mood. So I just took that as like, they're just very confident people in like who they are.
Yeah.
And I guess that could kind of come from like the stubbornness, but that also means like they're for sure themselves. Like they don't need you. They want you around, but like they got themselves on lock too. And this is a physical trait of them, but it says they possess come to bed doe eyes. All Tauruses have got those hey baby eyes, and it works wonders for them. And I was like,
they got those how you doing eyes.
Yeah, I was like, don't look at me please, no thank you. And now we're moving on to best compatible matches. What you got for me? I got 4 of them.
I'm gonna go, there's gonna be an earth sign in there, Capricorn probably, and maybe a water sign, like maybe Cancer.
Okay. All right. So starting it off, we've got Capricorn right off the rip.
Nice.
Earth signs tend to have a natural affinity for each other.
Yeah.
Tauruses are continuously looking for someone trustworthy, whereas a Capricorn values security and stability in a relationship. However, they can kind of butt heads quite often because they both want to take charge in the relationship and like, I want to do this, I want to do that. No, we got to do it this way. So in order for this relationship to work, they have to work on patience and learn how to compromise with each other. And then the next one, I think I have 3 water signs if I remember them correctly. But I know for sure 2.
Okay.
But we'll get there. So right off the bat, we got Pisces. Pisces and Tauruses can balance each other out well in a relationship. A Pisces is an emotional water sign, and a Taurus is a sensible, down-to-earth sign. They will get along due to their similar interests and will prioritize their love over anything else. One issue that could come up in this relationship is Pisces' emotional extremity. Like they got a lot of extremes going on, ups and downs all the time.
Right.
In some cases, this may find that when they want to express that their feelings are hurt to a Taurus, the Taurus might struggle to see the situation from their partner's point of view. So even though they might be a little off-put by a Pisces sensitivity to like emotions or to a certain topic or discussion that is a bit of a digging point in the relationship, Pisces can also offer that intuition, passion, loyalty, and the love that a Taurus will need. So it's like a give and take from a Pisces to a Taurus.
Yeah.
Which is really cute.
That does make sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then correct me if I'm wrong. What sign is a Scorpio?
Water, yeah.
Okay, I was right. So it is 3 water signs.
Yeah. Damn,
so
all 3? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I think this is all water signs and a Capricorn. Like, this is crazy. So this one's actually interesting. As with the other water signs, them being all like compatible with a Taurus, the Scorpio is a direct opposite of a Taurus. It says this one is the most opposites attract kind of relationship. At their best, they work precisely because their differences complement each other very well. A Taurus may provide a calming influence, while a Scorpio can assist Taurus in spiritual growth. The emotional intensity of a Scorpio and a Taurus's laid back demeanor can pose an issue for the pair. But since they're both still fixed signs, they value loyalty and working together to make a relationship work. The opposites don't really matter to them. They are really willing to like put forth time into each other and work through things, even if some stubbornness or inability to see the other's side of things could cause an issue. They're more determined to make it work rather than allow it to break.
Okay, makes sense, yeah.
And last but not least, we've got good old Cancer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're saying all 3 water signs, then I know I got the other one right.
Yeah, for sure. So Tauruses and Cancers are the 2 most quote-unquote domestic signs in the zodiac. They share very many same interests and values. They both have a same need for security and strive for creating that safe space with warmth and comfort. They do have some very important differences though. Obviously as a water sign, a Cancer is much more emotional than a Taurus, but the Taurus offers that like rock where they're that stay calm, like I got your back, and the Cancer can help a Taurus find motivation to do what they love or like to find certain ways around obstacles and allow them to be the best that they are. And so they're very nice complement for each other, and it's so cute, and I love it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. The water signs to me, it's funny because I guess I would have been right no matter what, but I knew there would be a water sign because I feel like every time that there's an earth sign, water's like earth and water obviously go together really well, right? They're like that's what I was thinking. They shape each other. So I mean, like, there's a natural balance there. So I knew there had to be one, but to hear that it's all 3 is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I didn't remember on the site that I use for research and whatnot. There's like percentages for these things, so I always pick the ones that like have the highest percentage of compatibility instead. Because I mean, technically all signs can be compatible
Yes.
with each
Yeah.
other, but it's the degree of compatibility. So
Right.
all four of the ones that I picked were like, I believe upwards of the like 70 something percent.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
it's
which I
it's
was like,
something
whoa.
to be said too, like astrology does not dictate your actual compatibility, right?
Yeah.
Because there's like your sun sign is never going to be enough to know because depending on when you were born, where you were born, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
by the pseudoscience of astrology, there's like 13 other things that decipher your personality and who you are and what's going to work with someone else. So you would have to
Mm-hmm.
look at both of your charts laid over top one of each other to see like where you actually would have,
Are compatible.
yeah, compatibility or not.
Which is dumb because, like, if you're looking at a full, like, loadout, for example, of those 13 things, you could literally just say you're not compatible if one thing doesn't match.
Exactly, yeah. And
So,
compatibility
yeah.
is, like your relationship is more than your sun signs. So
Yeah.
never use that as an indicator on whether or not. I hate when people are like, yeah, I just like I do this. They feel like,
I
yeah,
just don't fuck with
I just like
Capricorns.
don't fuck with like a Scorpio. Like they're just like not my thing. Like,
Yeah.
no, bitch, you don't fuck with the Scorpios you've met. It's different.
True.
Mm.
That might have been like a Scorpio sun and like a Pisces moon
Right.
and like an Aries rising.
And
Like
you,
that
for
was
all you
specifically what
know,
you
like
didn't.
Mars could be in the fourth house on their chart, and you could be like in total hell, like,
Exactly. Like you just don't know.
yeah,
So don't just believe the surface level stuff. Like get into the nitty-gritty. I
yeah.
love that.
Look up a compatibility chart on astrology.com. Ask for their time, place, and day of birth, and make sure
Yeah.
that you do your compatibility chart.
Double check their birth certificate if while you're at it. Like
Ask their
geez.
mother.
The maiden name, matter of fact. All right. Moving on to worst compatible matches. I've got 3 for you.
I
That
gotta
would be
go. I gotta, in solidarity with my girl Kika, I'm saying our two signs because we both had terrible experiences with Taurus. I'm an Aries. She's a Gemini.
fuck. Okay. That's 2 of them.
Nice. The last one, I don't think I could tell you. Maybe another fire sign like Leo.
Gotcha. Well, starting it off strong. We got Aries.
Yeah, fuck them boys, bro.
So it says that they share a cusp, which means they sit right next to each other on the zodiac calendar, meaning they have very different temperaments.
Oh yeah.
The fiery go-getter Aries is a thrill seeker who craves spontaneity and friendly competition, while a Taurus values that comfort and peace of mind
Mm-hmm.
above all else. The ambitious Ram might be just a bit too much for the bull to
Oh yeah.
handle, while the Taurus may be coming across as a bit too predictable for the Aries.
Yeah. I had a friend try to set me up with what would have been my third Taurus, right?
Uh-huh.
This was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time that I ever dated a Taurus went horrible. Like,
oh no,
so bad. Like,
oh, no.
One of the biggest regrets of my life bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we just like the second one, we just did not fuck with each other at all. Like it was it was like one of those things where you dislike someone so much that you almost start to feel like maybe you actually like them.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
enemies to lovers.
yeah, kind of, but like it was like
you don't make it to
enemies,
the
but
lovers
now
part.
we're enemies who are in a relationship or something.
Interesting.
But no, it was like we just like didn't get along well. We went to school together. It was a very short fling. And it was like I mean we just fought all the time, but like the other things were so good that like you just look past it,
Yeah.
And and so that was like maybe 2 months of our relationship, and then that third month I think we talked twice and then we said, yeah, we shouldn't do this anymore. Like we just did not get along, and
like
it was
a month
for a whole month. There was like 2 weeks where we just did not speak, and then I was like, do you want to hang out this week or something,
or
like,
whatever,
or like maybe like we had like a crew that we would go out drinking with, so I was like, you want to like get the crew together, go out for drinks or something? He's like, yeah, that's totally fine. We went out, did not interact really at all. And
While y'all
then,
were out together?
yes, correct. There was like one point we went to 3 bars. At the 3rd bar, he bought me a drink. And then we sat and we talked in the corner for maybe 15 minutes. And then I said, hey, I got work, so I gotta get going. And he's like, do you want me to take the train back with you? And I was like, no, it's good. You can stay out. And so I went home. And then I didn't text him that I was home. He didn't text me asking if I got home. The next day,
yeah, we should end this.
Yeah, the next day I texted him and I said, shit, sorry, by the way, got home last night. Nothing. Like, nothing back from him. So then, like, a week later, one of the girls that was in our friend group, she was like, yeah, I was asking him if you guys were still together, and he said, I don't know. And then she was like, so are you guys? Like, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know at this point.
No
what the fuck?
But the thing was, is like, it's exactly what you said. Like, he was always like, no, we shouldn't do XYZ. No, let's not go to this bar. Like, no, we're probably too drunk. No, we probably should call it early because we've got XYZ tomorrow. Like, so responsible, dude. And like, I was so
your spontaneity was screaming.
I was so wild that there was like a night where people were like, hey, we're gonna go skinny dipping. This is really deep Veda lore. We're gonna go skinny dipping on the beach out by the Drake Hotel. Do you guys want to come with? I was like, hell yeah, I want to go with. And so I did. And he was like, no, we could get in trouble with the cops. Like, it's really not worth the risk and blah blah. We were like, dude, live. Like, no one gives a shit. Just live a little. So then,
yeah, just do it.
Yeah. So me and my friends went out and we had like an amazing night, like skinny dipping on the beach in Chicago, which should not be possible, but it was. Yeah. And then like he stayed home and did nothing. And I feel like at the point that he was also like, I don't know. Yeah. I think I sent him a text one day and I said, I don't think that we work, do we? And he was like, no, I don't think we do. I was like,
oh, there's that honesty. Gotcha.
I will see you in class on Tuesday. He's like, yeah, see you then.
So that was it.
That was we still talk to this day, but we were not compatible at all. And then my 3rd run-in was, so I'm 3 for 3, by the way. My 3rd run-in, when I was asking this guy what he would like to do, because a mutual friend of ours was super nice to introduce us and was like, you guys, I think, would really hit off. You're interested in a lot of the same things and blah 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 blah. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll talk to him, whatever. So
you're like, I'll meet the guy, sure.
Yeah, all 3 of us went out to eat. He was awesome. We I think maybe talked for like 2 weeks after that, and every time that I wanted to do something, he had an excuse as to why it wasn't a good idea.
Like telling you that it's not a good idea, or like that he couldn't make it?
No, like why it wasn't a good idea. Like I suggested that we go to, because we had only met fucking once, right?
Yeah, at the like dinner.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't even like technically a dinner. We went out to eat with some friends after this event that I went to. And like, so I was like, oh, we should go to, I can't even remember what it was. It was like a festival that was like, he lived downtown. And so I was like, oh, we should go to this festival downtown, like, you know, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it's not in a really great part of town. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the next time I was like, oh, we should go to like XYZ. It's like down in Pilsen in Chicago. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. Looking up like reviews of the place, a lot of people like tend to get sick or whatever. And I'm like, can you just take a tiny risk? Let's get sick of the restaurant. It'll be a great story. Let's go to the shitty part of town to a place that's probably super awesome and jam-packed with security because it's an event. Like, come on, please. Like, no risk whatsoever. And he's like, yeah, I prefer to have, like, we can come over, we can have a chill night out. It was like, I don't want it to be planned. I don't want to have a calm night inside watching fucking Netflix or something. Like, I want to go do something. Like,
I want to go do stuff.
Let's get food. Let's like find a part of the city that neither of us have ever been to or something. Like, you live in this huge ass beautiful city and you want nothing to do with it. So yeah, I've not had good experiences with Taurus.
Oh. Well, moving on. We've got Geminis, which is also on the
that's
cusp
Kika.
with a Taurus. Yep. And it literally says word for word, quote unquote, these two signs aren't exactly a match written in the stars. In fact, they couldn't be more unalike.
Holy
An
shit.
airy Gemini is adaptable, which may come across as wishy-washy or pragmatic to the Taurus, which who prioritizes consistency and stability. Another potential issue is that they don't communicate the same. Neither will shy away from expressing how they really feel. A Taurus isn't one to take constructive criticism lightly, though. Taurus is more stubborn than a Gemini, yet a Taurus cannot appreciate a Gemini's honesty, which can lead to a lot of misunderstandings. Which is just butting heads over and over and over. Yeah. And then the last one is a fire sign, but not a Leo. We got Sagittarius.
Okay. I knew it'd be another fire sign, man.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, I knew for sure the water signs just because I was thinking, haha, rock and water for compatibility.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so then the opposite would have to be fire, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have any guesses as to like which specifically.
I think when it comes to fire signs and earth signs, I think it's just never a great mix. Like, I don't see any of them being like number one compatibilities for each other, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's especially true for Taurus, just because Taurus is so centered in that earth element.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so for Sagittarius's, they're just very different in temperament from an earthy Taurus. Add to the fact that they look for different things in a possible partner down the road. A Sagittarius would want a companion to travel the world with, while a Taurus would want a homebody they can just snuggle up to and just take care of and shelter from the world. So it's easy to see how the two would not really make a compatible match. The Sagittarius live on the wild and free side, which may trigger a Taurus's controlling tendencies, which will only push them farther apart and not really meet to that compromise that could possibly work. Again, the Tauruses crave stability, while a Sagittarius would prefer to rebel against that stability. Not saying like they wouldn't care at all, but they just don't match enough in how they want to live each other's lives. So overall, it's just not gonna end well between the two, unfortunately. They'll feel unfulfilled, the both of them.
I think that makes sense. I think when it comes to fire signs with Taurus specifically, just because Taurus is so comfortable like in their solitude or like in their comfy space is really what it is.
Yeah.
Breaking out of that is a little bit of a barrier for them. So if you're going to have like a compatible relationship between an Aries and a Taurus, it needs to be a very healthy compromise of sometimes, you know, like for instance, an Aries needs to pull in their kind of like fiery, spontaneous, adventurous side. And sometimes Taurus needs to be willing to step out of that comfort zone in order to do something. And that's where this compatibility stuff is really, I mean, it's down to the person. Because like me, for example, as an Aries, most times, as long as I'm able to be worked with, I don't mind nights in. I don't mind quiet nights in.
Yeah.
But like, bro, you gotta take me out on those first few dates, bro. I can't stay inside on date number 2. I can't do it.
Yeah. And plus, like, that's not to say that, like, y'all can't, like, go out for, like, an early night event and then come home and want to, like, cuddle up on the couch.
Saying it's not that difficult. Take me to a boring-ass museum. I'm swooning.
Falling, actually. Catch me.
Literally. Scoop me up. I am falling on the floor. But yeah, that's the thing is like there's a compromise that can be had there because it doesn't need to be anything extravagant. Like, oh, hi, Aries, I'm a Taurus that likes you. I would like to take you out, but I'm uncomfortable in large social situations. Can we go to, say, maybe a movie? And then the Aries is going to go, hell yeah, I've been wanting to see XYZ for forever. Let's go. You know, it's easy. Like, it's so easy. But it is really something
Take notes,
like...
guys. Write that down.
Any Tauruses out there trying to bag me, that's how you get me. But
any Tauruses, movies, period, will get me. I'm not an Aries, but hello, I'm a Pisces.
We are compatible, and I do like movies. But no, I like it's one of those things of like any two signs can work together as long as you recognize each other's, strengths and opportunities, for lack of a better term, and you work with each other on where you can meet in the middle. It's all about compromise.
It is.
Yeah.
And communication, because communication
correct.
is key every single time.
Correct.
All right, and rounding up Tauruses, we've got red flags and green flags. What would you like to hear first?
Let's start out with the red flags so we can end on a positive.
Of course, of course. Well, stubbornness is right up at the top.
Nice.
They're extremely hot-headed and are not too easily swayed with compromise. Yep. As we're saying, it's not hard to compromise, but maybe for some Tauruses, please work on that.
They're just very set in their mental, and it is very hard to change that. I can say from experience.
Mm-hmm. And then the next one is, I guess this depends on the person, but it says Tauruses are always crushing on new people, which means they're big freaking flirts.
So I think that this is heavily true, but I think the depth of the flirtatiousness is person to person.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm saying it depends on the person, because like you could like fall really hard for a person who's a big flirt but like only has the hots for you but like still has that flirtatious attitude.
Yeah.
Or like it could just be a huge turnoff, because like what if you're low-key the jealous type and he's like got the hots for you, of course, but like flirting with other people and you're like, oh, he doesn't even want me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that give and take kind of look again. But also, they're just, like, hella possessive. What's kinda theirs hot. Is theirs, and they will let you and other people know.
Yeah, that's actually, like, the one thing about Tauruses that I really enjoy.
Because it's hot.
It is so hot.
Yeah, it's like, very much.
Unfathomably hot.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Yeah, both of the Tauruses that I actually dated were like that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, one of them was, like, incredibly jealous because of how possessive he was. So like I had a best friend that hung out with both of us, and when I say like
best friend dude or a
best friend dude, me and my best friend at the time, we hung out like every single day, like nonstop every single day for like 6 months straight, and that's how we became best friends. And he was one of the most important people in my life at that time. So I really wanted my boyfriend at the time and him to get along. And naturally, the first thing that my ex said to me was, I don't like him. I think he has a thing for you. And I said, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, like, no, we are really good friends. You're just
and then in order to like silence his jealousy or possessiveness, I had to involve him in setting my best friend up with a girl. Oh. And then we would just like, we went on double dates with them and whatnot.
Oh,
and it cute. But it was like aggravating because it was the only way that I could get him to like stop being so jealous.
Yeah.
Now the possessiveness is hot, but the jealousy is not.
Is not.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the problem. And then the second guy that I dated for like the little bit of time that we were, quote unquote good, because it was such a terrible fling. The one time that his possessiveness kind of came through was we were at a concert and my ex-boyfriend was performing, and so like naturally like me and him were on good terms, and so I was like cheering him on and like rooting for him, whatever. And then like my at the time boyfriend, he went home, like, and we lived in the same building, so he went home, and then my ex drove me home, and we were talking in his car outside like before I went in. And my, at the time, boyfriend saw it
Ooh.
And was not stoked. But he got, I mean, he was a little on the like dominant side, so like, but that was the only time that it really shined through. But I like that quality. I think the possessiveness is kind of hot.
I do too, but I don't like the over the top jealousy part.
Yeah, me too.
Like a good little like, hey, like what's mine is mine, like don't touch is kind of like, but otherwise you're like,
I like possessiveness in the context of a guy is a little too nice to me at a bar, so my possessive boyfriend like slings his arm around me.
Yeah, the
That's
guard
what
dog.
I like. Yeah,
yes,
I like,
yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm into. But anything above that, I'm a little.
Ugh,
like, dude,
stop.
I'm a dude's girl. Like, I can't.
I
can't stop the bros from broing, you know? I talk about fucking cars and video games and sports sometimes, so like I can't help it, man. Girls just like they don't fuck with us sometimes, you know?
That's fair. All right, and then I've got some green flags. I've got that they're very dependable and reliable, which means they're always available, even to be a shoulder to cry on.
So true.
Which is so cute. And that they're also really good at responding to texts or calls and are always there to give advice and consistently show up for a significant other or a really close friend. Like, they'll always just be there for you. And I really like those green flags. It's so cute.
Yeah. Adorable. I think also very like true to the sign too. I feel like very like key identifiers, you know?
Very much. It's cute. Would you like to read the horoscope of the day for our Tauruses?
Sure,
or would you like me to?
Absolutely. Okay.
I think this one was cute. It's very like astrological though.
Oh,
like it's not very like
I kind of like those
layman's terms, I guess.
Yeah. I can try to give you guys some context as to what it means. Do you know, is this for today, this week, this month?
This is for today.
Okay.
I know we're a little late in the day.
Yeah,
so
but
let us know if this works with you.
Yeah, look back and see if this is how your day went, Tauruses. It says, your fun-loving and sprightly side shines through today, dearest bull, as the moon, Uranus, and Jupiter align on your side. This basically just means that Uranus, Jupiter, and the moon are kind of falling in towards the like Taurus range in the sky. Use this energy to move outside the box, finding growth as you challenge convention and what others expect of you. You'll have the chance to enchant crowds and important members of your community when Neptune stirs this afternoon. Just explaining a placement in the sky. So don't be afraid to shine. Consider pulling back as evening creeps in and Luna enters Gemini, connecting with the present through small moments of luxury that ignite your senses. Your focus shifts toward the pursuit of success when Pluto activates tonight. Yeah, luckily all of those are just where the planets are in the sky at certain points of the day. So
it was basically just giving like when you should go for what you want to go for and then when to pull back and like the give and take again.
Yeah, so it's kind of saying like you wanted to kind of move outside the box and grow a little bit in the morning, kind of pull back during the afternoon, and at the night you kind of just want to, you know,
chill,
ignite yourself, kind of do something
do your own thing, what you like,
pamper yourself, treat yourself. So that means all of you right now, Tauruses, at least in the States, you should be pampering yourselves right now. So go take a nice bubble bath, put a face mask on, listen to your favorite album,
go for a massage.
I'm explaining a night
play your
from
favorite
like
video
games.
True. Light some candles.
Put the
if you love some candles
in your hair. Like
I love it. I love it. Do you possibly by chance have a little teaser for next week?
Oh, I think I do.
I think we just did. Didn't we?
Oh, actually, yeah. And if you guys don't understand it, we'll explain that to you next week.
So remember, Coveys,
keep it real, but keep it curious. Goodbye.